All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Nook Farm Writers Collaborative. My name is Grace DiMaduno, and I am the coordinator for this year's program. We're now in our 12th year of running this program and hosting it at the Mark Twain House and Museum here. And now I would like to welcome our Nook Farm Writers Collaborative apprentices for our summer showcase. While they are getting situated, I want to say a big thank you to our Living History Coordinator, Emma Gerstein, our Director of Interpretation, Rebecca Floyd, our Marketing Director, Albinko Hasek, and our Executive Director, Jeffrey Nichols, all for their help and support. And finally, this collaborative is supported and funded from the Cornelia T. Bailey Foundation's New Era Writers Program, as well as an anonymous donor through the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving. And without their support, this program would not be possible. So now I would like to welcome to the stage our master teaching artist, as well as the Poet Laureate of Glastonbury, Connecticut, Victoria Nordland.
Thank you. I'm just so thrilled to be here tonight. These past 6 weeks have been absolutely amazing. I got to spend them with such talented, inspiring teens and such wonderful coworkers. We created. The kids created 6 portfolio pieces along with a lot of other writing from other authors who came in and did workshops with them, as well as workshops that we did. We had screenwriter Nick Paley, we had author Andrea Xerkins, we had Christy Schoonever, who's a horror writer, and she's also an editor of 34 Orchard, and was so impressed that she's publishing 2 of our teens' pieces within it. So it's an incredible opportunity to have authentic writers, to write your own portfolio pieces, as well as working collaboratively as a group. They're putting on some wonderful performances this year. So again, and we have an incredible online magazine. And if you look in your program on the QR code, you can click on that and go right to Journey 75. It won't be up until tomorrow, but all of their pieces will be up, and you'll get a chance to read everything. So before we begin, I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview of some of their works in the showcase. I wrote a poem that has lines from everyone's showcase pieces. The meticulous joining of hexagonal pieces. The air is a petal, hushed and pale on wallpaper, the shade of sighs. Rose milk and powdered blush, the color of a thought just beginning. It hangs over your head right in front of you, playing a sweet, sad melody, just wide enough to let a small breeze in and out. You murmur, "Well, that's new." As ideas fill your ears, as you sit and listen, your words begin to form. Built from wood the color of faded parchment, your lines begin to stack like a secret. You feed them teacups and tulle, lace curtains, and perfumed pillows. You accept a cup of this summer's nectar, feel it slowly move down your throat. Then you watch your creation change. Right then, right there. It isn't obvious or ground-shaking just yet. You hear voices as you stand in the doorway of a memory that crowded with regret and doubt, and why are they in your house? But somehow, you feel a connection, a meaning. The verses begin to fit together like a broken ceramic vase, and the stanzas you've created are authentic, a little stubborn, and keep you grounded because they see all of you, even the messy parts. And although your journey is ending, your life will never be the same because you saw the world in this place and you found your muse. Thank you. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first group, and they will be performing their piece, Treasure Hunt at the Mark Twain House.
I'm so excited for Papa's story tonight, Clara. I mean, it's going to be fantastic. One last adventure before going off to college soon.
So am I, Susie. I wonder what Papa has in store for us. Nothing can beat Huckleberry Finn, though.
I'm so hungry. I could eat a full 5-course meal.
You're always hungry, Jean. Wait, where is he? He did say to meet in the library, right?
He did. Wait, look over there. A note.
Move, Clara! I've got it! It says, My precious daughters, Jean, Clara, and Susie. Instead of a story tonight, I have prepared an exciting treasure hunt. If you can find all of the objects on my mantle before midnight, I will return with a prize. Your first clue is as fresh as a daisy with water spewing about, the gardener might go crazy. We might even go into a drought. Good luck. Sincerely, your Papa, Sam Clemens.
A treasure hunt? Oh, I'm so excited. I wonder where it could be. Maybe it's in the gardens, or it could be...
I hope the prize is bonbons.
Of course you do, Jean.
Forget the bonbons, Jean. Finally, one last big hurrah before I go to college and become a famous actress, and I'll even be able to take on the most important role of all and see the world through Papa's eyes.
Okay, Susie, let's focus on the game now.
Well, it does look like the watering can's missing, and the clue said something about daisies. And it's probably by those potted plants.
There's nothing over here.
Yes, there is. I know there is. It has to be here. It's probably inside the pots.
Susie, stop! Those are Mama's favorite daisies, and you're getting dirt everywhere. Susie, stop, I'll tell.
Don't you dare, crybaby. I know that they're in here. You just have to trust me and keep looking.
Susie, can't you just accept that you're not always right? It's probably hidden somewhere else.
No, it's here. I know it is.
Guys, look, I found it. No thanks to you.
Give me it. What do we even do with this?
Maybe we should break it open.
No, we'll never get bonbons again if we break the precious watering can.
We won't get bonbons at all if we don't find next object. I vote we smash it.
Just give it to me. Oh, there's something inside. Here is our third clue. It says, scales in her hair, slithering to stone, beware of her stare. Nothing will remain, not even skin and bone. Oh, there's a quote too. Also, teachings out of books. For a full belly is worth little where the mind is starved.
Full belly? Papa's just taunting me now.
The quote sounds so familiar. It must be from a book Papa read to us, but I don't remember which one it's from.
If he's read it to us, it must be on some shelf over there.
Yeah, it's probably like in or behind one of the books. I don't know, Clara. I'm not seeing anything.
No, I'm right. I know I am.
No, you're not always right. Just because you think that you're the best at all these games and treasure hunts, as somebody who's written books, plays, even Papa's biography, I've never heard of it.
No, I know I'm right. The Prince and the Pauper. That's where it's from. I told you.
Do you think the painting's inside the book?
Give me. There's nothing in here.
Let me see that. Oh, there's a random drawing of a brown chair?
You mean that brown chair?
I've got it. There's nothing here.
Susie, move. You're sitting on the painting.
What?
We found it. Great eyes, Clara. What's your problem, Susie?
Yeah, we found the painting, so why are you still sulking?
You know, just so we can get more bonbons, it's so dumb. Whatever.
You say that like it's a bad thing?
You know, the most important thing in life isn't chocolate, and it's certainly not these stupid kids' games.
How could you say that?
Maybe you could help us with the third clue then. That is, if you want to play these games.
Yeah, do you have any idea where the next clue could be? All we have is the Medusa painting.
Maybe we should break the painting open.
No!
It's way too valuable to be smashed. Did you guys even check the back? I bet it's back here. Oh. Look, right here. Our third clue. It says, small paws and furry feet, but the rough is what will lead you to the sweets. Where sparks and flames grow high, when lit, the item will die.
We are totally getting bonbons. I can taste them already.
Where sparks and flames grow high, where lit, the item will die. Jean, Susie, it's in the oven.
No, the next item's in the furnace.
The furnace is burning, Dunderhead, and the cook is making dinner. I bet it's gotta be the fireplace.
No way it's in there.
Yeah, I still think it's in the oven.
It's definitely in there. Just go and look for yourselves. Jean, go in there.
Hey, why me?
Yeah, where does she get to have all the fun?
Fun? There's probably ghosts or spiders in there. I could die, you know.
Whatever. You're the youngest, I'm the oldest. Just do it. Listen to me.
No.
Do you want bonbons or not?
Fine. For bonbons. Ugh, it's so dark in here. Was that a spider web? Guys, I really don't think there's anything in here.
Then keep looking.
Oh, wait, I found something. Here it is. The cat painting.
Oh, great. Gimme.
I think I should get to read it first.
No, did you call through the fireplace? I should get to read the final clue.
No, I should. I'm the best at it.
Give that back.
No.
My blood, sweat, and tears are on it.
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Jean. I didn't even get to read a clue yet.
Give it to me. Ugh.
Huh, I got it first. Now I'm reading the clue. Where sparks and flames, the man in the vase sits. Grab the vase before he splits.
So the final object is the vase. Do we think it's here in the library?
I'm not sure. Wait, look, over there, it's George, our butler. The man who serves sits.
Before he splits, we have to get it from him before he leaves.
Thank you, Ryan.
We did it!
Hey! I'm so glad Pop arranged this game for us, especially before Susie went off to college. I know we fight and we bicker, but really gonna miss you.
Please don't leave us, Susie. You two are the best sisters I could ever ask for. You're both so daring and assertive. I wish I could be just like the both of you.
Oh, guys. I'm really gonna miss you when I go off to college. Please don't change. Don't change. Wait, do you guys hear that? There's something inside.
Bonbons!
Good evening, everyone. My name is Megan. My group will now be reading selected work from creative writing portfolios we have created in this program. I will be sharing a short story I wrote in the nursery of the Mark Twain house entitled Rot. This piece was selected by Christy Schoonover for publication in her literary magazine 34 Orchard. It will be featured in its 13th issue in the spring of 2026. The house stood at the edge of secrecy, small, splintering, and quietly cursed. It was built from wood, the color faded parchment rising in 3 crooked stories, stacked like a secret. Its windows, 3 per floor, glared like lidless eyes from a skull too old to remember its own name. The roof, once proud in color, had rotted into a tired, flaking gray, sickly green veins bleeding through like mold on its bones. The inhabitants were nameless. They were called the Doll People, but were only distinguished from each other with titles. That was his rule. The darkness did not permit names. Names conferred history, identity, the dangerous illusion of self, and self was the first thing to go. When the dolls awoke, they began on the ground floor, where the light still lived, where desire was born. Because every doll knew, without knowing why, that the goal was always to go up, to ascend, to enter the place where the darkness lived, to be chosen, to be claimed. Each level higher dulled the skin. Painted flesh turned to porcelain chill. The ultimate goal was third-floor transparency like breath on a mirror. The attic was where they disappeared altogether. That was where he completed them. Erasure. Femininity in its truest form. They were all taught to want it. The witch whispered her spells into chipped teacups, stirring secrets like silence. Her hair was black yarn stitched tight to her scalp with metallic thread, like thoughts sewn shut. The mother cradled absence in her arms. Her porcelain smile cracked just enough to let the grief peek through. She smelled of milk and mildew and rocked an empty cradle that never stopped creaking. The hysteric danced on broken toes, her laughter jagged as glass. She tore her paper dress into strips and wove them into the floor like roots that refused to die. Her beauty was a scream trapped in a mirror. Then there was the militant. She snared where others simpered. Her fingernails were not painted but sharpened, blades that peeled wallpaper like flesh. She hunted rot. She fed the maggots. She defiled every inch of domesticity she touched. She made herself unsightly with surgical precision. Her hair, once curled, was hacked short and scorched at the ends. She wore her cracks like armor. She reveled in the mess, in defiance, in the art of undoing. She bent femininity until it splintered, a lesson she learned from the only walls she ever knew. The more she desecrated the feminine, the more the light returned. Not sunlight, though, one born of defiance, the kind that bruises, that screams instead of shines, and that, more than anything, made her invisible to him. The darkness rarely spoke. When he did, it was only to satisfy his hunger. He wanted delicacy. He wanted surrender. He wanted to possess, and so he possessed only things that begged to be kept. He slid through cracks, through silence, through softness. He dissolved what pleased him, and oh, how easily the others were fed upon. First began the witch, concocting a silence that turned her to dust. The mother followed, her arms growing heavier, rocking air like it was made of sorrow. The hysteric was his final supper. Her laughter slowed, her ribbon stained a darker shade of red. But the militant, she climbed like a curse. She stomped through thresholds. She broke chairs, bent herself into angles that screamed against symmetry. She chewed through her stitches. She ruined herself, satiating her desire to be undesirable. By the time she reached the attic, the house was sagging. Paint sloughed from the ceiling like dandruff from an aging god. This was the final room, the mouth of him. This was where the dolls disappeared into elegance. Not her. She brought infestation. The maggots came in waves. White, slick, and relentless. They birthed from behind the peeling wallpaper, from the ruptured cracks and dollhouse corners, from the wounds she carved into the stairs. They spilled over floorboards like living pus, withering with hunger, with vengeance. She fed them teacups and tulle, lace curtains and perfumed pillows. She fed them everything he once desired. They multiplied on her command, devouring symbols of beauty like priests degrading a false god. Their mouths were small, but they were many. Their appetites, limitless. The wallpaper bubbled. The house split. The silence ruptured. The darkness gagged. He could not consume what revolted him. And the militant had become a cathedral of revulsion. She was a sermon of unpleasantries. Where others softened, she scarred. Where others faded, she flared. He shrank, hissed, recoiled. He needed beauty to bind. She gave him resistance. She gave him rot. And finally, she gave him nothing at all. Thank you. Now, please help me in welcoming one of my talented peers, Miles Gruber.
Hi, I'm Miles. So this first piece I wrote in the library of the Mark Twain House, and it's about life and its ending. It's called Decomposition. The deer limps through the forest. Blood spills from its stomach where it's been shot. The leaves covered in red. It bites into a flower, something so full of beauty, quickly destroyed. The deer continues through the forest. It will live for today, and tomorrow, and maybe the day after that. What will it do when it dies? When it falls over, its wound festers with flies, the deer will never walk again. When it decomposes, and all that's left of it is the bones to remember it by. Who will miss it? Who will mourn it? The bones seem to cry. No one will. There is no one to see it. No one loves it. No one ever did. They hated it, for the stench it brought, for the flies it wrought. So the bones lay forgotten. Thank you. These next two pieces I wrote at the Wadsworth Athenaeum, and this one relates to Medusa and the myth surrounding her. It's called Shield. We cry for thee, O Medusa, queen of the Gorgons, whose head turned those brave enough to stone everlasting. Cursed by Athena for the misgivings of Poseidon, whose only companions were the snakes who adorned your crown, whose life was one of solitude and loneliness. It was not your fault. You loved the man, or that he loved you. The gods are too fickle for mere mortals to understand. We cry for thee, O Medusa, tricked by the merciless Perseus, son of Zeus, to look into the shield at your own face, so that he might return your head to the one who cursed you. He did not understand the plight, someone who spent their life weeping for company. And when it arrived, you would destroy it with a glance. You never meant to harm. You wanted to love. But the world was too evil, too unkind for someone as innocent as thee. We cry for thee, O Medusa. Thank you. This final piece tells the life story of this picture and the person who painted it, Thomas Cole, who died very young. It's called Grand Tour. You went on the tour to expand, to become a master like the greats, to get away from America. On this trip, you found your muse, Mount Etna standing tall and proud, snow blanketing its peaks softly. The smoke rises high over that volcano. You stood from the ruins and you knew your life would never be the same. You saw the snow, the villas, the turmoil. You saw the world in that place. 6 paintings, years of sketches. You loved it with such fervor. Nothing greater than that mountain. Did you know that in 5 years, the smoke would grasp your lungs, that you would choke, your face blanketed over with white sheets. Dead. Only the paintings remain, like ruins of an old civilization. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce another great poet, Leopagus.
Hello. Today I will be reading two poems that I wrote, and this first piece I wrote as a letter to my dog. Dear Gracie, the death of you was the death of me. Your spirit still lingers through the walls of our house, your hair still sticks to every piece of fabric, your jar of treats still rests on my desk. Remembering you can be hard, but memories with you will forever heal me. I vaguely remember the first day. Sitting in my car seat, I saw you smiling running up to the car. Your fur was darker, you could move much faster, but you still had your wonky paw. A few years later, I was a little kid. I had a strawberry shortcake apron. You wore it better. You were still dark, but getting lighter. You could still run, but getting slower, but you still had your wonky paw. 14 years later, I'm a teenager. I still snuggle with you when I'm scared. I still skip fireworks to stay with you so you're not alone. Your fur is light now. You try to run when you're happy, although you're slower than a snail. You're still cute, but you still have your wonky paw. 3 months later, your journey is ending. I still hold you the whole way there. I still carry you around. Your tongue still hangs, but this time it's pale, not playful. You seem white now. You can't move. But I still love you, and I always loved your wonky paw. I'll miss you forever, my sweet girl, Leah. Thank you. This next piece I wrote is an ekphrastic poem, which is also a haiku suite, which I wrote at the Wadsworth based on the portrait of Henry VIII. It's called Six. 1. Divorced. Widowed by brother, failure at making a boy, divorced for Boleyn. 2. Beheaded. Lady in waiting, accused of unforgiving crimes, beheaded in 1536. 3. Died. Loved by dear Henry, gave birth to his only son, died from the same birth. 4. Divorced. Married out of sight, proud to be Henry's fourth wife, divorced due to looks. 5. Beheaded. Made every man wild, used by men time after time, beheaded for crimes. 6. Survived. Henry's final wife. He died in the year of 1543. I died in year 1547. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce my good friend, Disha Rodjaker.
Hi, I'm Disha Rodjaker, and today I'm going to be reading 3 poems. The first poem I'm reading is called Carousel, and it's about childhood memories that I had at the Buckland Hills Mall Carousel. We're all the way back in the era where mall culture is still a thing. The nearby restaurants are lit up and welcoming with delicious aromas of Chinese food and pizza wafting around them. A man is waving around a red plastic tray that carries free samples of teriyaki chicken. Fairy lights and Baroque drawings are all over me, and I make twinkling carnival music as I spin around and around, carrying young children seated atop of my artfully crafted animals. I catch sight of a girl with black pigtails, eager for a turn. She drags her dad over to a token booth, and he puts in a dollar bill. Out come golden coins with a clinking sound. She joins the line of people eagerly awaiting to go after what seems like an eternity to an impatient young child. She finds herself a tall purple horse with a shiny gold saddle and climbs on, struggling a little. I spin around in a circle, the animals attached to me galloping up and down. The scenery in front of me blurs. I stop spinning after a few minutes and catch sight of the girl getting off, but she quickly comes back with more of those shiny gold coins, handing them over to my operator. She comes back and visits weekly, along with many other eager little children with joy in their eyes. I watch many of them as they grow older and can still picture their faces even now. Time goes on, and many of them start to visit more infrequently. They stop coming completely after a point in time. Now, many years have passed, and I'm a shadow of my former self. The lights covering me are dimmed and flickering, while my tattoos are cracked and fading. Everyone abandoned me. The girl comes back to visit me now, but she isn't a child anymore. I missed a whole chapter of her and many others' lives. I'll never get to go back to the old period again, though my memory still remains sacred. I'm still here, but how long till I disappear? No one gets to experience what I did all those years ago again. Thank you. My second poem is called The Soulmate Theory is Tied Together with a String, and it's based off of a prompt about soulmates from author Andrea Zirkins. Romantics and rom-coms and star-crossed lovers and serendipity. Unexpected and fortunate discoveries. Book tells of one primordial soul split into crystallized pieces, each one connecting to another like a puzzle. Roots and limbs intertwined, yin and yang, carry duality fitting. Two individuals cleared of karmic conscience, healed, join. Science and chemistry, who makes your heart race and gives you butterflies? You meet someone somewhere and somehow feel familiarity and feel connection, a meaning. Fit together like broken ceramic vase pieces or like a seashell torn apart by the cruel aquamarine sea. An invisible string, the red thread of fate, everyone interconnected, a paradox of fantasy and belief. Thank you. My final poem is told from the point of view of Cinderella's stepsister, and it's called Slippers Seeped in Blood. I cut off my toes with a kitchen knife, wincing and sobbing tears of salt and blood when the pain hits. It poured into the clear mystical slipper, red stained and tainted it impure, a permanent reminder of my own disfigurement at my own hands, a decision that feels regret. But it was all for nothing when the prince recognized his true owner of the glass slippers, even after I threw one of them across the room and watched it shatter into sharp, irreparable shards. My one chance to escape this rigid cage of a household and have a fairy tale ending torn from me. Happy endings only come to the girls who wait patiently and stay delicate regardless of the thorns that cut them apart from the inside, not the ones who turn thorny themselves. Not me. No one cares about the girls who refuse to let the world feel satisfied at their suffering, the imperfect, broken girls who refuse to be kind and pure and saccharine sweet. I will solely be remembered for eternity as a wicked stepsister in the story of another. But what about me? Was I not another victim of a soulless society? Thank you.
now for our second group's performance. Their piece is called The End of the World.
Guys, we've got to watch Love Island. A new episode just aired and Hannah got voted out. We gotta see how it happened.
Ugh, Chad. Why couldn't Hoda have been voted out? She started so much drama.
What are you guys even talking about?
Y'all are actually so brain rotted. Go touch grass.
You cannot be talking. You were literally spouting conspiracy theories the other day.
You all laugh, but I study harder than half your teachers.
Please, I touch grass all the time. I went golfing with Father earlier today.
Whatever. The point is, we are not watching Love Island. I vote X-Files.
That's so 90s. Have some class.
Yo, let's watch something actually good. How about Gilmore Girls? Ugh, screw TV. They don't make any good shows anymore. They all try way too hard to include teen slang. Want to play Roblox?
Well, since it's my Hulu that we're watching it on, I should get to pick what we watch. And I want to watch Love Island.
You mean your parents' Hulu?
I should not have invited you guys over to my house. You're so whiny.
Breaking news! An asteroid has been spotted on a direct collision course with Earth. Scientists expect mass destruction. Hold your friends and family close.
Oh my god, we're all gonna die!
It could just be fake news, or
we're cooked.
Or the asteroid could miss.
No, the asteroid's not gonna miss. But lucky for you nerds, I have the state-of-the-art tinfoil hat!
Ew, what the heck?
Is this because you cheated on your Spanish test last year? Hey, it's not that deep.
Is it because I don't know the difference between there, and there?
Yeah,
maybe. Guys, I know what it is. Confession, I was a furry during COVID. Pale and everything. I had ears.
A breaking update. A new countdown has been released. Earth impact is expected in 1 hour.
If this was really it, what would you guys do?
I think I'd stop pretending that I don't care what other people think. Like, I really do. I have emotions, you know.
I'd probably, stop isolating as much. I want to get as many people into my bunker as possible. You know, everybody deserves a chance.
That's lame. To be honest, I'd probably pursue my dream of being an influencer. I mean, I've got the face, I've got the followers, and I know I can hit 100 million in no time.
That may be the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
For real.
Well, I admit I don't have it all together. Like, I try to be the responsible one, but it's hard sometimes.
If we're really gonna die, there's something I should probably admit to you guys.
Say it to the live stream. Is it that you secretly prefer creeping up with the Kardashians over Love Island?
No, it's that you guys are the first real friends that I've ever had that don't just want me for my money. Like, I've always felt replaceable, like a walking credit card with a blonde blowout. And that's why I think that Jason's penchant for research and ingenuity and his refusal to believe that his belief that others are lying to him. He never believes what anyone says unless he believes it has proof. I was only raised to believe in appearance and status.
Well, for the record, I always thought you were Skibbity, just a little bit loud, you know?
To be fair, you are really annoying. Like, so frustrating. But kind of cool, I guess.
Aw, thanks, Jason.
Riz!
Shut up. Look, I have something to confess to. I knew this was gonna happen! In fact, I told you this was gonna happen! But no, you all brushed me aside like I was insane. I mean, I know I ramble on a lot about things you guys don't care about, like Bigfoot and aliens, but come on, when somebody tells you the world is gonna end, pay attention!
But how'd you know this was gonna happen?
My dad, he works at NASA. Seriously, have we not been paying attention to a word I say?
No.
But I thought that you thought that the government just, like, lies and stuff. Why would you move NASA?
As much as I hate their stupid spying satellites and that damn fake moon landing, I could tell my dad was serious.
Would you just shut up already? It's my turn now. Listen, you guys all think that I'm brain rotted, I have no substance but my jokes and my amazing looks. But the truth is, I want to be more than that. In fact, I can be more than that. And I wish you guys would just look at me as something more than that. Like, would I even have substance if it wasn't for my phone?
Well, honestly, I think the real you is someone we'd all like to know.
And I could bring you on vacations with me. We do all sorts of fun things, like ostrich riding and hang gliding. They're so fun. And they're without a screen, so you can develop a passion. And they're not even that expensive.
Right. Thanks, betas.
Alright, your turn, know-it-all.
I'm not confessing anything. The world's not ending and y'all are being ridiculous.
You're being ridiculous. We need a plane to survive, and we need it now.
Let's go to my underground bunker.
Ew. No, can you imagine how many spiders there are in there?
I mean, who cares? We're all gonna die anyways. Will y'all just calm down?
No! We're really gonna die, aren't we? There's one more thing I have to confess, guys. I like Jason. He's not my type at all, but he's so cute and fun to argue with. I'm sure he likes arguing with me too.
No, I argue with you because I hate you.
You need to back off. I love Jason. Jason, listen to me. I love you. I think that I think you got such a big yacht and you're super Sigma boy, and I want you to be mine forever, please, will you?
What does that mean?
Be my Pookie for life, my house forever, will you, please? Well, if we're all confessing this, I like Jason too. He's the only one in the group with brains, and we totally be a powerful.
He's mine.
Wait, news update.
Breaking news! The asteroid has narrowly missed Earth. You may let go of your friends and family now.
I told you so.
I'm kind of glad that we all thought we were gonna die.
How can you say that? We all just confessed to Jason.
I mean, we haven't been this honest with each other in years.
Yeah, I guess. I haven't talked this much in years. You guys are okay, I guess.
Want to watch Love Island?
Fine.
Hello everyone, my group and I will now be performing our portfolio pieces. My first piece is entitled Everything Soft is Pink. The air is a petal hushed and pale, on wallpaper the shades of sighs, rose milk and powdered blush, the color of a thought just beginning. A chandelier drips peach light onto a seashell piou-sauté, velvet worn like whispered secrets, pressed into cushions, forever soft. Ivory keys like seafoam, the piano hums softly. Girls press conch shells to ears, whispering ocean secrets. Pastel shadows curl at the baseboards, dusting the floor like a ballet slipper fog. The mirror frames a rosé reflection, dream-tinted and sugar-spun. Every object breathes gentleness. Peony wallpaper, pearl lamp glow, a world washed in soft water hues, where time floats weightless and mauve. Chairs like candied almonds sit in stillness, ivory limbs, dipped in blush enamel. Long curtains spill beige on the floor, light filtering in like diluted perfume. Even dust glimmer with rose quartz, and every breath feels like satin. In this room, nothing can shout. The silence is tinted, tulip and shell. Thank you. And my second piece is entitled Eigengrau, which is based on the color we see when we close our eyes. Closing my eyelids, not black, but restless shadows, dancing quietly. An uneasy, soft gray fills the space where light once lived, never fully dark. Mind refuses rest, painting fog behind my eyes, stillness out of reach. Sleep's curtain drawn close, but color pulses beneath, no true black to find. Shadows hold their breath, quiet in the closed eyelid, waiting to be seen. In the silent dark, a gray hum that will not fade, restless Eigengrau. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce my talented friend, Maddie Mayello.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My first piece is an ekphrastic piece, meaning it was based off of a piece of art, and it was written at the Wadsworth Athenaeum here in Hartford. It is after Norman Rockwell's The Girl with the Shiner. My piece is entitled The Girl They Call Ruckus. I suppose it was unladylike of me. Mother was disappointed by my ruckus. Girls don't use their fists to solve problems. On the blacktop, they call me wiry, spunky, like I'm some asphalt abomination that is not to be reckoned with. The frizz from my pigtail braids blows and flows from the school ceiling fan, and I feel Mother's judgmental stare from the principal's office. My amber leathered loafers and twisted, and my socks scrunched at my ankles, and my off-white button-up is untucked. The collar is out of place. I've never lost a fight. My bony legs hit the sleek yet stiff wooden bench. An ugly Christmas plaid skirt is the only barrier between me and this discomfort. It's wrinkled like me. Mother doesn't notice the open cabinet first, the one that is just for me and my overflowing file. Not the difference between the girl who left the house this morning and what she looks like now. She ignores my unremorseful smile. Her eyes dart towards my eye, my shiner. Forgets the unraveled red satin ribbons in my hair, not the rolled up sleeves on my cotton top. She just looks at it. The purple and blue and black eye, almost metallic, like the salty blood that slightly surrounds it. She lets her jaw drop for a minute and sighs, murmurs, "Well, that's new," before taking me to the car. Thank you. My next and final piece I wrote on the first day here in the Nook Farms Collaborative. It is entitled Pierced. 1. Infant excitement, like the sting of the bee if it was sweet like honey. Mom ties your hair back, the elastic pulling at your brunette locks, and the butterflies rush to your stomach. The fluttering in your heartbeat doesn't stop until the needle gun is up against your fragile earlobe. Its pencil sharpness will linger. You'll kiss the stab of the gun, hold your new silver steel earrings dear. Oh, the joys of turning 5 years old. Once the lump in your throat clears, once the tears stop swelling, you'll ask Mom when you'll be a big girl. What do you mean, honey? A nose ring. That's what you wanted. Needed. As if it's the epitome of teen fashion, a must-have accessory. Like there was some sort of secret freedom in the small stud, one that you were dying to have. 2. Sit at the same Claire's accessory shop that pierced your ears. Same leather bar stool with the same stud gun that brushed your earlobes at 5. And Mom still pulls your hair back before the needle hits your pores. But this time it's different. The needle means more. Like late night shifts at my job and like hitting the pavement behind the wheel. And like college, the dorms, the food, the cost. And it hung over my head as so far into the future, but here it is, right in front of me. Oh, the joys of turning 16. I'm not kissing the stab of the needle or swallowing tears of pain. I am clutching to my final years of adolescence, and the stud on my nose is the last stab from my youth. Thank you so much. I would now like to welcome my good friend and talented writer, Avery Zappone, to the mic.
Good evening. I will be reading a horror piece that was written in the Mark Twain house when horror author Christy Peterson Schnover visited to teach us about writing dread. It will be published in the 14th issue of Christie's literary journal, 34 Orchard. It is entitled The Scarecrow. Ma always said the devil thrives in the Arizona heat, but she had been off her rocker for a while now. The front porch's floorboards squeal with each rock of my chair. The evening air is thick and suffocating. Smoke from my cigar rises to meet the scalloped porch ceiling. The smoke tastes like summer trips to Ma's house and Nancy nagging me to quit. I've tried to stop for her, but the scratch at the back of my throat has become too therapeutic. It's hot like hell out here, Nance says, balancing a pitcher of fresh lemonade in her rough working hands. She joins the rocking chair beside me, their creaks creating an agitating harmony. I accept a cup of the cold summer's nectar and can feel it slowly move down my throat. I watch Janie and Peter play on the chalked-up sidewalk. Their jump rope steadily hits the pavement. The rope's reflective stripes are lit by the porch light as luring the mosquitoes into its electric trap. The wheat field across the street stands unmoving in the still hot air. Stalks of gold rise near hip height. It'll be a good harvest this year. The hay-stuffed scarecrow stares back at me through the dense grain. Janie had sewn a face on the burlap sack last year. An exaggerated U-shaped smile grins back at me in black embroidery thread. Peter's contribution was a triangle nose drawn on with marker. The marker had faded from the spring showers, leaving splotches of red, keeping only a vague resemblance to its past shape. Dried hay pierces my arms and neck like needles. It looms over the field, with a crow perched on its fence post wingspan. The dinner bell rings, cutting the still silence. The nostalgic smell of chili and sweet tea slithers through the open front door. I crush my cigar into the ashtray, extinguishing its barely burning flame. Janie, Peter, it's time to come in. They drop their jump rope, abandoning it at the lawn's edge. The last one in is a rotten egg. The dinner table is set with 5 bowls, spoons, and cups of iced tea. Lace doilies cradle the china heritage plates. The tablecloth is decorated with robin's eggs and dainty chickens. I slump a heaping portion of beef chili into my bowl. The first few bites are so hot I can't taste it. After dinner, I tuck Janie and Peter into their beds. Their sheets carry the dusty smell of being left in the linen closet too long. I go to turn off the lights when a small voice peeps. "No, Pa, leave them on. I'm scared." "Okay, Peter, there's no need to be scared." "Pa," Jamie chirps too, "we left our jump rope outside, and we don't want it getting lost. Could you go grab it?" In my Christmas patterned pajama pants, I go outside. The temperature had dropped a striking amount. The hair on my arms and legs stood up from the chill. No cricket chirped, no pond frog croaked, not even the crows said a good-night call. I scanned the lawn for the jump rope. Not a star speckled the sky, and I could only see where the house's floodlights illuminated. There was no jump rope anywhere. I see a slight glimmer ahead in the forest of wheat, a reflective sparkle. Squinting my eyes, I can see the stocky shape of the scarecrow. Did the marker from the nose bleed onto his flannel shirt? I see Nancy's lifeless frame tied to the scarecrow by a bloody jump rope. It could be fed by insanity, but I could have sworn the scarecrow's stitched smile had grown. Thank you. Now my group and I will perform a group ekphrastic piece based on the painting Siblings of a Nile Island by Ashley Stringer. It was written for the Glastonbury Ekphrastic Showcase on the Green Fine Arts and Crafts Show, which will be happening Sunday, September 7th at 3 p.m. We will be performing alongside the amazing Victoria Nordland and other town poet laureates throughout Connecticut.
Siblings of a burning place. Dark radiation hits my skin. The beating sun presses against my pores. Their voices ring through my head, echoing and staining my psyche. I don't feel treasured or cherished, only defeated, like the world I have come to know is a lie and a hoax. Brother chokes back tears and swallows his worries to comfort me, mutters something about how they could make things work, while the burning granite stabs my legs like the punches to my gut. I try to force the tears to flow out, but they are all dried up from the baking heat. Mentality gone, withering hearts and souls, and nothing will be left.
Salt air and sun saddles my shoulders. There is the distant hum of Dad's car retreating for the final time. The white shell pavement cracks under his tires. Sunlight stings my eyes after beaded tears. Eyebrows furrow in a desperate confusion. Thumbs find comfort in a nail-bitten embrace. Pain is amplified by the sun's fever, an inextinguishable flame. Sis, with bows in her hair that Mom still ties, and a tree-bruised knees, sits by me, silent. Dad says he'll return for us, but I know better. Sis carries his promise like a sword. I lie to her like a shield. Our shoulders brush, and I feel her heavy head rest. Her, a fragile dove, wounded by Machina's bite, I cradle her wings.
The door behind us peels like sunburned skin. Layer by layer, memory by memory. The paint cracked like old paper, but we are young, knees sharp and eyes wide, still believing things stayed whole. The boards behind us peeled slowly, like they'd seen everything. Our fights, our shared slices of mango, the time we almost ran away. We don't talk today, not with words, but we listen. We don't know what this silence means, only that it's heavy and warm and replaced by tears. The door sighs, its breath is dust, but it holds our backs while everything from the other side falls apart. As we lean softly into the quiet, we both understand.
That's what siblings do, live next to one another in each other's warmth.
And now for our last group's performance piece. It is titled The Training Session.
Hi guys, my name is Wylan. OMG, I am so excited to be here. I had so much coffee this morning. I can't wait. Who's with me?
Okay. Anyways, I'm Clara.
Wow, you're already late? It's really the first day. Anyways, what's your name?
I'm Allie, and geez, good morning to you too. Where's the instructor? No way I beat him here. He's the one getting paid.
He's late. That's a good first impression.
Hello, class. My name is Bob. I assume you're all here for your mental health crisis certification?
Unfortunately.
And to get a good grade, of course.
Does everyone think this is some sort of a joke? The world needs people like us to help them.
Exactly. The world needs people like us to make sure that the insane and crazy people on our streets aren't allowed to continue running rampant. I mean, anyone with mental health issues are at risk of going crazy and attacking people on the streets, and we need to know how to calm them down. Look at these people. These are not normal people. So in this class, we'll be learning how to talk these people down so the cops can arrest them.
Excuse me? Are you sure only crazy unstable people have mental health conditions? Like, isn't mental health something people can't control? And aren't we supposed to be helping them? At least, that's what the training pamphlets I read say.
Those training pamphlets are a bunch of baloney. They try to fill your head with nonsense. These people are wrong in the head. That's not something you can fix with a conversation.
You're wrong in the head.
What was that?
Nothing.
Look, what we're trying to do is help people. Help the cops arrest these people and put them behind bars where they can't harm themselves and certainly can't harm us.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you have so much more experience than us and everything. I'm going to start fixing all of my notes right now.
Who cares? You guys are wasting all of this time arguing. I bet you're so bad if you're on time.
My thoughts exactly. So to begin, let's talk about talking down someone with a knife.
Wow, look at Allie over there. She's literally drooling all over the desk. Like, aren't we actually supposed to be getting work done and not screwing up every 5 seconds?
This instructor is not much better than her.
Why are you like this? You always have to start stuff and make everyone mad. We're here to get the instructor's approval and get a good grade so that we can actually move on.
I actually care about doing the right thing, you know? I'm not just here for approval from this.
What you have to do is appeal to these people's emotions. They have some form of right or wrong in their addled brain, and if you learn how to work it correctly, they will easily be convinced to put down their weapon.
See? Look how smart he is. He has so much experience, and he's been out in the field and everything, plus he has so many service medals and awards.
He's not right. He doesn't actually care about this. He's just an instructor because he wanted to be all big Mr. Tough Man, and he's just doing the special training for the extra pay.
Hello? I'm trying to sleep here. What could you possibly want? You're interrupting my nap.
You're missing a really important part of the training.
You're the one who always boasts about knowing so much about mental health. You should know that I have to take care of myself before I can help other people. I need my beauty sleep to be effective.
What are y'all doing? Distracted? Again? You'll never know how to diffuse these situations if all you do is gossip and not listen to what I'm trying to teach you.
I am so sorry, sir. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was just trying to get them to listen.
Are you kidding me? You're endorsing the stupid behavior you just told me you didn't agree with. I actually care about helping people. And look at this guy. He's just doing this for the extra pay. I know how important this is. I saw my mother get so deep into her depression, she almost couldn't be saved. I care about people. I'm not just here because mommy made me come, and I'm not here because I care about this crazy man's approval.
Oh, sure. You don't know anything. You don't have any experience dealing with these mentally insane people like I have. I'm trying to help you kids understand. But you keep attacking me at every turn.
You know what? Clara is actually right here. I mean, I've done a lot of research on this, and everything says that mental health is something people can't control, and our jobs as mental health professionals is to actually help everyone in need.
I am the one who teaches this class. You're all out of line. Besides, you're making this so much longer than it needs to be. It should have been an hour-long class, then a test, and then you would get your certificate. But you keep lengthening it out with your holier-than-thou attitudes that have no real basis. You agree, right? This is ridiculous.
I don't know about that one. I don't like being wrong either, but Lila and Clara are actually making some sense here. I mean, clearly I'm not the most passionate person in the room, but I didn't know what you were teaching us could actually hurt people.
You know what? Fine. I don't give a damn. I'll find someone else to teach this class. Someone with the exact same warped view as you three on how to deal with these sort of situations. You'll be no help to anyone. I guess that's what you want.
Wait, does this mean I won't get my certification? I mean, I worked really hard for this. You wouldn't do this to us, right?
You
get your precious little certification. Just not from me.
Wait, does this mean we get to go early? I'm kidding, I promise.
We're better off without him. He treated mental health like it's a threat, but it's not. It's human, and it deserves more than fear and ignorance. We're not here to follow his lead. We're here to do better.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Krantz, and my group will be presenting our portfolio pieces. My first piece is titled The Gory House Guest. It is an ekphrastic piece based off this photo called The Guest in the Kitchen, which is also based off a story written by Edward Gorey called The Doubtful Guest. A guest uninvited is staying the night. One with odd arms, fancy shoes, a scarf. He was truly a sight. The bird was a weird creature who nested on an urn. His howls and moans would make the whole house turn. Now, this bird was a funny man, one who loved to run across the hall. Once in a while, he would even get stuck in the wall. The bird would try to communicate without a word ever said. The family, quite wary of him, did offer him a bed. In the morning, they would ask him if he had ate. That's when they would find a half-eaten plate. The Birdman would often sit by the gramophone, eager for love, sullen, desperate, alone. The family took pity on the man and took him to get warmed by the flues. They hugged him and loved him and told him, "Why don't you take off your shoes?" They treated him like one of their own, even gave him some books. They decided he could put one of his scarfs on their hooks. He found he was quite like a dog, preferring to sleep on the floor, and often stood guard at the foot of their door. This man was known for making quite a scene, from broken pottery to even a broken tureen. This man was kind, and never had an ounce of wrath, that is, unless it was time for a bath. One night, the bird ventured out, sulking around like a creep, packing his things while the family was asleep. Although the family had grown fond, he ventured back to his old home by the pond. The family rose in a spasm of panic at the break of day, finding their loyal friend had gone away. Some say years later, the bird comes back and does them a favor. He brings flowers to the gory house, sits and ponders, with only the comfort of a mouse. We will forever love our surprise little pest, the one and only gory house guest. Thank you. And my next piece is a short story written here in the Mark Twain House. It is titled Generational Grief. The light of the kitchen slips through the door. The small boy peeks his head out to scan the area. He sees that his mother's door is closed shut and his brother's is peeking open, just wide enough to let a small breeze in and out. He sneaks down the stairs, ensuring to never step on that third step because it's the one that always creaks and cracks. The boy moves past the living room and close to the kitchen door. Inside, he hears the radio, an old radio, like one that was used in the 50s. It played a sweet, sad melody, and a young man sang a tune that the boy recognizes but can't remember. The boy pushes the door open slightly to get a glimpse of who's there. At the head of the dining table, there's a man, clutching a golden urn. It's his father. He sits in the kitchen alone, the radio playing to cover up the sound of his tears. The boy recognizes the urn as the one they were handed at the funeral a few days ago. His father sits, clutching his father, the boy's granddad. The boy sat on the ground, a tear dripping down his face as well. This was the first time he had seen his father cry. Even at the funeral, his father was sullen, but did not let a single tear dampen his stone-cold expression. The boy wakes up, no longer a boy, but now a man. He glances over to his wife sleeping next to him. He shifts through the house, past his daughter's door. He peeks in the door to see her asleep with a stuffed teddy bear. He passes his dog and gives him a pat on the head. The man goes to the bookshelf and picks up a black jar, an urn. He walks down to the couch and puts the TV on at a low volume as to not wake his daughter. He lights a cigarette and lets the smoke fill the room. He lets his built-up tears pour out of his face, dripping on his father's urn, holding it close, hugging it, knowing he will never feel his father's embrace again. He puts out his cigarette and stores the urn back away. At the top of the stairs, he sees a girl, his daughter, clutching her stuffed bear, a tear dripping down her face, as she watches generational grief. And now I would like to welcome up a fellow author of mine, Maria Skorsky.
Hello. I'm going to be reading a short story inspired by the billiards room in the Mark Twain house, titled The Devil of New Orleans. New Orleans, French Quarter, Louisiana, 1992. Everyone knows the Devil of New Orleans. No one knows where he came from, but what we do know is that he's not leaving anytime soon. He frequents places that proper gentlemen rarely set foot in: bars, gambling dens, and most commonly nests of thieves, for that is what he is, a genius thief. He is good at staying unnoticed. If you were to peer into a busy crowd, your eyes would skip right over him. Attention slips off him like water off a duck. When you're face to face, though, he's unmistakable. Red eyes, a smile that would make any lady's knees go weak, a long coat that flows around him like magic. If that doesn't let you know, the noticeable lightness to your pockets and purse after he bumps into you will. Then he's gone, like he never existed. There are whispers that he's not human. It would make sense if you believed that sort of stuff. What man would have eyes that blood red, a smirk that disarming? I'm not convinced. I know he's just a man, a human man, and I'm going to prove it. It's almost easy to find the devil if you're familiar with the French Quarter and you know what you're looking for. All you have to do is find the places in town with the most criminals and gamblers and untrustworthy men. You're bound to find him then, but you should be warned. If you do, you might regret it. I pushed open the door, hood over my head, as I peered into the bar. It wasn't that I was forbidden from being here. I just preferred for people to not know the identity of the girl searching for the devil. I glanced around the room before remembering that's not the way I'd find him. I'd likely have to play the long game, sitting and waiting, before he would reveal himself. Luckily, there was plenty to keep a woman occupied in the form of a myriad of stories all around, coming from every other patron, it seemed. Words filled my ears as I sat and listened. Some told of fights, others of financial hardship, others of triumph. A loud crack and a shout drew my attention, as well as that of others. Many of us glanced towards the back corner, expecting a fight. No, just a billiards table and a man who'd made an excellent shot. I was about to return to my waiting when I found myself glancing around the billiards table once again. There was something of import there, but I couldn't figure out what. The low lamp over the table had been partially obscuring him, and the shadows had hidden most of his face. But there he was, the devil, red eyes and all. I watched as he stepped forward to the green felted table, wielding his cue not unlike a weapon. His every pore oozed confidence. He promised the triumphant man in a rich, accented voice that his pride wouldn't be for long. I'll admit I'm not very familiar with the game of billiards, but I knew that the move he executed next was nothing short of masterful. The other man's mouth dropped open in pure surprise, and he frowned before handing over a wad of cash. Evidently, in only a single move, the devil had won.
The devil tucked the cash into the inside of his jacket, wearing a grin that could only be described as, well, devilish. He shook the loser's hand with both of his own before the loser slunk away with his tail between his legs. Another man came forward to challenge him. I wanted to warn him away from the devil, but to do so, I'd have to reveal myself. Not ideal. Before I knew it, the other man had lost money too, perhaps even more than the first. I watched again and again as man challenged the devil and the devil won. Naturally, few took it well. One man grew angry and tried to strike him. The devil didn't return the anger, didn't flinch, didn't fight back. He simply smiled. Then I watched him change, right then, right there. It wasn't obvious or ground shaking. The rest of the bar didn't even notice. His eyes, the white parts turned black like ink, and the red of his irises shifted from a dark wine red to a bright cherry scarlet, as if the fires of hell danced in his optic nerves. That is truly no man, I realized with a shiver, my stomach dropping as the angry man dashed away while stumbling over his own feet. I crept out after him, hoping the devil would not take notice. A hand touched my shoulder. Bonjour, chérie, the devil said. You have been watching me. Come to gamble your soul in a game of pool? Thank you. Now I would like to introduce fellow author Ovia Tamalarisu.
Hello. Today I'm going to be reading two pieces, and the first one is a flash fiction piece I wrote in the bedroom of the Mark Twain house. It is titled The Other Side of the Street. No one saw my struggle to move or how I froze in place, my eyes locked ahead. The bustle of the crowded street surrounded me as I stared. I was on the sidewalk. The crowd, waiting for the light to turn red, didn't glance at me to see the expression of absolute horror on my face. A few people pushed past me in their rush to get to work. The sounds of car engines and honking filled the air. The smell of gasoline stung my nose. The traffic light turned red, and the crowd started moving to get to the other side. But I was rooted to my spot. I was staring across the street in horror. I was staring at the figure across the street, the figure who was me, the perfect carbon copy of me. At first, I had thought someone had put a mirror across the street, but it wasn't a mirror. She had a mole under her left lip and an unearthly wide grin with sharp gleaming teeth. Thank you. My last piece is a horror poem I wrote in the basement of the Mark Twain house. It's called The Forgotten Room. The air was chill as I walked down the stairs. I felt goosebumps rise on my arms. Something was off. The atmosphere was tense. I entered the basement. There I spotted a book I had read, sitting on the table. I looked down to see the familiar olive green carpet, with a design that resembled flowers. I looked around and I noticed paint cracking. The once beautiful basement had turned into a must-see area that was an afterthought. There were some of my belongings spread out on the table. I looked at them in confusion. What were they doing there? Just then I heard voices. A voice of a guide and what sounded like tourists. I stood in the doorway ready to confront them. Why were they in my house? They walked down the stairs and I waited for them to see me, but instead the guide walked right through me. Thank you. I'd like to introduce my friend Zoe Sondick.
Thank you. This first piece is a poem I wrote for my sister, Phoebe. You, my dear sister, are Phoebe. My sister needed a real-life Phoebe Caulfield for her English class Catcher in the Rye project. Pointed the Polaroid at me, click, flash. I hadn't read Catcher in the Rye. I didn't know if I should feel flattered or insulted. All I knew was my sister found me annoying. She never hung out with me, never talked to me. Our bonding time was chasing each other with knives, ripping out chunks of hair, and the occasional ceasefire when our brother was being a major jerk. I used to steal all her things: clothes, food, books, especially her camera. She saw a kleptomaniac. I just wanted to be her. She has this fearlessness, this passion for justice, unrelenting drive that I was envious of. As we grew up, began to mature, the distance lessened. Petty fights turned into the deepest conversations and car rides with endless laughter. She became my biggest supporter, encouraged me to write, to be friends with the smart girls, not the mean ones, because Sontic women are kind and we are powerful. I called you Phoebe because you have this ability to see people at their worst and still have compassion, because you're authentic and a little too stubborn. You keep me grounded, and you see all of me, even the messy parts, and you still call me your role model. When you finally read Catcher in the Rye, you'd understand why. I finally read Catcher in the Rye. Phoebe is kind, introspective, keeps holding grounded, just as I do her. My sister and I still bicker like children, but she saw me with one click. This next piece is a poem I wrote in the Mark Twain house about a childhood regret. Mad Madison. Mad Madison was the most hated girl in the first grade. She ruined all of our fun. When we got 10 minutes on the hill, it was likely caused by her breaking something or snitching on someone else. She sat on a bench by herself until a teacher would come join her. I climbed the first grade hierarchy, swinging from friend groups like monkey bars. I played sports with the athletic girls. I made friendship bracelets with the artsy girls. I laughed at jokes that weren't funny as I watched as Madison was tripped on the wood chips. The day before Christmas break, we were coloring reindeers. My red pencil was as dull as my spirit. I went to the silver sharpener and shoved the stub in. Two twists to the right, and the pencil sharpener snapped right off the hinges. I left it there broken. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Madison staring at me. The next morning, my victim laid in pieces on a desk in front of the room, under a note that read, "Whoever broke me needs to tell me." I was never one to confess. 5 days went by and I hadn't said a word. Our teacher started punishing all of us. No recess, no nap time. Each time she pleaded for a suspect to come forward, Madison would meet my eyes and I would silently shake my head. She never told a soul. Madison and I had a secret allegiance. Emphasis on the secret. I was too scared to approach her, but we would share secret smiles and waves. I'd write funny jokes and slip the notes in her bag. She'd give me the red gummies because they were my favorite. But we weren't friends. Nothing changed in either of our worlds. The first day of second grade, I vowed I'd be different. I'd approach her, I'd invite her to play soccer, or maybe make friendship bracelets. I'd be her friend in public, not just in secret. I walked into class with my best smile, excited to see her, but when the attendance began, her name wasn't called. In the halls, I hear whispers. Did you hear Mad Madison move because no one liked her? My heart sank in my stomach. I liked her. Thank you. I would now like to call up the rest of the Nook Farm writers to read a haiku suite we wrote in the Mahogany Suite in the Mark Twain house. Thank you.
The Nook Farm Hive. Stare at the ceiling, bees trapped in between webbing, caught between the blooms.
Fluttering wings and furry exoskeletons, busy worker drowns.
A keyboard click from a writer. Buzzing bees work inside endlessly.
They dance around the keys, flitting happily. All they know is writing.
Words captured by meticulous joining of hexagonal pieces. Language is a hive, each voice pulsed with wax, sweet nectar delight.
Hum of bees in air, destined for the sap of roses, the sap of knowledge.
Pollinators' food, oxygen for hungry and creative minds.
The stinger hits hard, final stab at poetry, sweet and written art. Bringing words to page, drawing inspiration from painted bees on wall.
Bees buzz and fall. Bees create their own story, story stuck in a web. Thank you.
Hello, so I'm the assistant teaching artist here at the Mark Twain House, and I just want to say it's such an honor every year to come here every summer and work with these students and work with this amazing team. It's such a privilege. I brag about it so much. And I always like to say that they teach me more than I teach them. They've taught me so much this year. I've wrote so much, and they taught me so many things like kindness and patience. It was such a strong bond this year, and I'm so thankful that I get to come here.
Hi, I'm Cassie. I'm this year's intern, and I was a student in the program 2 years ago, and I am so honored to be able to come back this summer and work with these amazing guys. Their writing is truly inspiring, and they are all beyond talented, and I've had such a great time with them.
Yes, you've heard from me before, but I just want to say how proud I am of these talented, amazing humans. They give me inspiration for the future. I was not writing like this in high school. And I'm so proud.
And I would just reiterate everything that everyone has said. Every single one of these students has deeply, deeply impressed me. I just also want to say thank you all so very much for coming and for supporting our apprentices who have worked so hard these past few weeks. Also, we have a small reception out in the Hal Holbrook Hall, so please feel free to stick around for some light refreshments.